Yeah.
Action. Go.
Go.
We good?
Yeah.
It's on?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a manual. More specifically, a 1989 Mazda B2200 that packs a punch. Maybe a little motor, but when you put this 5-speed behind it, she scoots, son. And trust me, I know, because I bought this truck for $1,500 specifically for this video. I promise I'm not poor. I have another truck, but I did too many burnouts and broke the rear end. As you can see, all these burnout marks here are behind Scotty's Grill in Taylorsville. And this is where I did burnouts in my truck until I screwed up my rear end. So we have this that I bought specifically for this video. It, come here, only has 81,000 miles from 1989. Dang it. 81,000 miles, and she has a wiggly stick here equipped with, let me move this up, well, we're not going to move that up, equipped with this wiggly stick and an 8-ball shifter knob on the end. Ain't that fancy? We even have a little duck companion here to remind you to always use your clutch. The first step of owning a manual, well, the first thing you should know is that you should always push the clutch in before, and the brake, mind you, both pedals. 2 feet driving is required before you start it. Once you start it, always make sure to turn the park brake off or you're gonna stall out. All right, for this, we don't have a shifting diagram because I took the stop shifting knob off. So it will be, as you can see here, if you wanna pause the video, or first, second, third, fourth, over again is fifth, or overdrive, and straight back all the way over to the right. Right there is reverse. So first gear's right there. Now, one of the biggest problems people have with driving a manual on hills is that when they let their foot off the brake and they're holding the clutch in, they'll start to roll. This isn't a big hill, so it's not a big problem. But what you can do to solve that is just by giving a little gas, letting the clutch out a little bit. This is how you can hold hills without using your brake and rolling back and running into somebody in the front end like I did the other day. But what you're going to want to do to not stall this out is, first of all, we don't have a tachometer, which shows you how many RPMs you're at. So you're just going to kind of go by the noise. You'll know once you start driving, but about a quarter of the way on the accelerator, and then you'll slowly let the clutch out, and you're in first gear. Help me! Help! Come in. Don't be shy. Come on. Okay. Now you get to ride in a piece of history. 1989 with 81,000 miles. You know how rare that is?
Stop. No cop, no cop. Belts first.
Turn it on.
Sorry, it's been on.
Oh, always remember to buckle up and have a sip of sun. All right, first thing. All right, now that we're buckled up, the most important thing in a manual, besides buckling up, is make sure your park brake is off. You'll stall out and look like an idiot. So we're gonna start here first, obviously. First is always the hardest to get into. So you wanna give it some gas and you wanna let out slow. And it bogged a little bit there because I was going real slow just for demonstration. Once you get better, you can let it out smooth. But then when you're upshifting, you always wanna use clutch. So clutch, second, let it out. Gas, clutch, out, back into neutral, and then right there in the middle is third. See, that's the smoothest shift. And then clutch, straight back, fourth, let it out smooth. Give some gas. As you're letting out, always give it gas. And then right there is fourth. We don't really use fifth much unless we're on the highway, so I'm not gonna demonstrate it right now. But that's pretty much all there is to it, except for we're gonna go out here and show you the takeoff on a real road. So right here on Buffet Boulevard, turning on to 16. I'm gonna let out the first, let it out real smooth, give some gas, go back into second. That's all right. Now, especially with an older transmission like this, I don't usually like to gear down going to stoplights. Usually I'll put the clutch in, pop it into neutral, and just use my brakes all the way in. But you can, the only thing that sucks about it is when you stop at a stop like this, you have to start back over at 1. Don't try to start at 3rd, you'll stall out. But gearing down is really hard on them, so usually I'll put it into neutral and just use my brakes into a stoplight. But you can gear down into a stoplight. I'll show you right up here. We're in 3rd right now. 3rd's good for about 35 to 45 miles an hour. Anything more than that, you would want 4th. And then 60 or 70 would be good for 5th or overdrive. Now, we didn't stop at this one. Go ahead and use 4th through town here. And we'll turn into O'Reilly's. I'll show you why it's a bad idea to gear down coming to a stop. Because no matter how hard you let the clutch, or how easy you let the clutch in, it's gonna jerk. That's why I prefer popping it into neutral and just using your brakes to come to a stop. But reverse, it's just the same deal. Pop it in neutral, make sure you're at a complete stop before you go into reverse. Over, back, and there you go. Now let me show you how to stall it out. So first, it's the stage 1 stall out. When you're in 1st gear and you just don't use gas. Just like that. And now everybody notices and looks at you. Okay, so another one is when we might not get it to actually stall out because we don't have much room in this parking lot. But it's when you try to use too high of a gear. So we're in 1st. We're gonna skip 2nd and go straight into 4th. It'll do that. That's when you're in too high of a gear for the RPMs you have. So you need to gear back down and maybe go to 2nd and then 3rd, even if it's just... Why are you videoing me? Why? What's up?
Oh, yeah.
Start.
Seatbelts first.